Okay, hello plastic addicts. It is 8 o'clock on Friday, and you are back with Jason's Model Shop, the place where I build science fiction pop culture models, some for myself, mostly for other people. And feel free to remember that, because there's space on the bench, so I'm open for commissions. I've got, as usual, got my Peace Tea. Remember, Peace Tea, hit me up. Hit me up. You want to sponsor a big channel like mine? I don't want to brag, I got 26 followers. And 6,000 on TikTok, and 4,000 on Instagram, and 1,400 on YouTube. 1,400 after 10 years. Anyway. Oh, and of course, the ketchup chips. Can't forget the necessities. So, last time, I'll bring that down a little bit. Last time I said I was going to paint up the top so I can install the glass and then we can put the saucer together, but that was a lie. I actually end up adding 6 more fiber optics because I forgot about these ones around the saucer, around the bridge dome edge, so I guess the AB deck. So I put those in, and now we'll have 3, which will provide nice illumination for the bridge in conjunction with the 3 that'll be directly below it for the lower saucer ones. But yeah, that's basically it. So we're going to work on the secondary hull instead, and that means, yippee, more fiber optics. Sure, everyone's psyched to see more of that. So that's the bridge dome. Other pieces we're going to need, but not yet. Come here, you. And sorry, just thinking about something there. Yeah, so a couple things we need to do. We need to open this up so we can have a light for the deflector. But only gen light. I only want, because this is a 2-piece assembly, I only want a little bit of blue glow behind it, and then I'm going to put a SMD right in the middle that will send light right through the little shaft and illuminate the dish itself. So yeah, we'll open that up, and you know, it might open up all of them, just so it's easier for the fiber optics, because I think I might have to use the 3/4 millimeter, because I'm almost out of the half, and there's a number of blocks of windows on this. That's actually a lot per side. We're going to do something different. We're going to go smaller, not bigger, because, hello Aaron Mars, thanks for joining my stream as usual and keeping me company. 1/4 millimeter. So obviously the light is going to be less intense, and thinking back now, I really should have done this before, but I wasn't thinking about it until I saw the intensity when I lit this up with the 3/4 millimeter. So we're going to be a little over the place with the lighting, but I'm not too worried about it, because this is mostly a test bed. Because most people don't seem to light these. I've only found a couple that have. But I want to grab something. I think the overall intensity is still going to be okay. Oof. I like building them, I hate dusting them. So this Galactica is made up of 1/4 millimeter LED fiber optics, and you can see them twinkling there in a few spots, there and there and there. Now there's less here because I think at least one LED burnt out. So I know there was definitely more in there in the past. Oh shit, top's loose. I can actually probably take that off and fix it. Anyway, so it'll be a dimmer glow, but I think we can get away with it. And you know what? Oh, look at that. Maybe you can see some of my old work. Okay. So yeah, that is... I'm going to bring this on, or I can't really bring it up. If you can see it, that's a lot of fiber optics in there. So yeah, it looks like I just didn't use as many as I thought I did. Honestly, I probably got lazy. I was like, nah, those few will be fine. But you can see it just fine. Anyway, so that's just an example of the 1/4 millimeter, a little less intense than what I've been dealing with, but we'll manage. And speaking of fiber optics, I talked about this before. And I'm gonna dim the lights. So this is the Pegasus, where I did a couple things. The biggest was doming. So this is all 1 millimeter LED. This one here has been domed. That's where I heat the end up and it makes the, or bloomed, pardon me. And it really focuses the end like a spotlight, and you can see how it's throwing light there relative to everything else. And if I flip it, it's really hard to see because the base is in the way. But I put some in there. Anyway, the point being that if you want to turn your LED from just, or your, holy shit, your fiber optic, from just a, a little light emitting end to a spotlight, just heat up the end. There should be lights on both sides, but I lost an LED, and that's why I still have it here and not the other side, because consumer electronics suck. So I have a lot of experience with fiber optics. Now, for everyone who's been watching, this is going to be old hat because it's just kind of more of the same, drilling and placing. These are the Aztecs from GCals that are going to go on when we're done. But yeah, we can put this aside for now and get our pieces out and start the process. And we do, so the smallest this has is a 0.3 millimeter. So they're going to be a little loose in there. So I have to be aware of that as I'm placing them. I think this will take a one this small. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, so we're going to drill out the windows first. And then take care of the bits and pieces there. And I think, yeah, that's a lot of windows, damn. I'm going to do that block. Maybe we'll take that out. So I'm wondering how much I really need it. I don't think we need that at all. Okay, you know what? Let's go for the, you know what? Let's do it. Let's go for broke. And things will either work out or they won't. In which case I have to reconfigure, but that's model making. Guess like, was it Bob Ross always said, that happy little accidents? Because sometimes things work out better than you've planned. And come on. A bit more material to drill through, but so I'm removing the pegs for doing the installation because it feels like these ones are extraneous given the way this is built. You've got a lip. Well, you essentially got a tug and groove. So this here feels somewhat wasteful and it's taking up space in the neck. Where it's like you got all this material pushed together. Whatever. Like I keep saying, the decisions model making companies, our producers make, are just so weird and out of this world. And it's like the people who manufacture them don't actually build them, which I know isn't true. Jamie Hood over at Round 2, I believe he does the build-ups of everything or most of what they produce. I don't know. Anyway, so we got block of windows, block of windows, block of windows, block of windows, block of windows. There's going to be a lot of fiber optics in there. Now, luckily, I have this whole area to put lighting and hide them. And I think I'm going to get away with 2 LEDs because I can fit so many more individual strands inside the collar. Well, you're loving those stickers, aren't you? And you know what? Rather than use the Dremel, we're gonna kind of do this old school. Because this is a little bit faster. There we go. So, everyone's always like, oh, models, you gotta take your time, and whatnot. You know what? Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you just gotta do it, get it done. Yeah, hey, didn't want to cut. Oops, I'm going to take that much off. Anyway, the point being, sometimes it's okay to get aggressive just to get things taken apart and cleaned up. And there we go. Now we got room inside. And, ooh, you know what? We're going to try to put the LEDs with the collars way up here. So we can do the same thing as the saucer. And that is the reduced glow from the LED, because it's in that tube of plastic, will make a nice, soft, even glow. And that should be just enough to light up the deflector dish, which I'll apply some clear blue to the back of. And then before we close it up for good, I can have the one little LED for that big point light in the center that'll light the whole dish. Or at least that's the theory. Okay. Well, I guess it's time to get busy drilling or get busy dyeing. I'll try to keep this entertaining. It's kind of boring, this part. Oh, I might have to do this every single time. Ooh, this is going to be awful. Even at a slow speed, it's heating it up. Bring that back a little bit. And trying to keep them reasonably straight. Okay, that's what we're going to do. Back here, this detail back here is pretty soft. So, this is a lot of windows. That's going to be a lot of fibers to stick in there. And if I had to start with the upper hull, I probably would have went with the 1/4 millimeter right from the beginning. So lesson learned. Guess I'll just have to do a better job in the next one. Same thing, and you know what I'm going to do here? This side's not so bad. The way that I put these filler strips to hide the gaps, I think, because I'm not quite confident in this spine closing up, I may run, instead of having to rescribe and make a mess of it like I did on the nacelle, I may run a filler strip right down the end. Because here, this isn't too bad, it's actually raised, mostly, except for down there. Yeah. So that's going to be the plan. Now let's mark out some more windows. Now I may have to use 2-part epoxy to hold these in. I've been using the UV Cure resin, but when you cure it with the UV light, it heats up, and I know from experience that with strand this small, it'll just let go eventually. So I may have to use another method. Details a little bit better on this side. Okay, this may be another short stream tonight because there's going to be a lot of drilling, which isn't particularly engaging. I can't finish that because I need to paint it first, which is watching paint dry. So, oh yeah, it's only been 20 minutes. We'll drill some more and kind of do a quick layout and see what we're up against as far as spacing. And then I'll do the rest off screen and come back on Tuesday. We'll be almost ready to put these two pieces, all these pieces together. Yeah, this is the other thing too. I said the small one is really heating up a lot. So run it slower. I've done that one, that one, that one. So those ones aren't perfectly straight. When I was watching Ben build his, I think he ran into the same problem. These are so small. It's very easy to get them So, let's talk about movies then, while we're doing this. A couple weeks ago, my wife and I watched Beverly Hills Cop. Now, we'd watched it together many months ago, but even then, that was my first time. A lot of movies from the 80s that I hadn't watched. Oop. There we go. So it was worth it. We were just kind of watching stuff. I'm like, I'm not interested in anything new. And I was scrolling through stars, and she's like, hey, Beverly Hills Cop's there. Let's watch that again. Okay, great. It's a wonderfully fun movie. And I am all about story structure and character arc. Because I made movies. I've been making movies since 2004, and they were never any good. And, you know, so in 2018, I'm like, I gotta figure this out. What's going on here? So I eventually found Save the Cat by Blake Snyder. which talks about story structure. In his case, the 15 beats that go into a movie, which is basically it was not 5 to 10 years ago, Aaron, that we watched Beverly Hills Cop. It wasn't that long ago. Anyway, you made me lose my train of thought. Anyway, so reading Save the Cat helped me figure out, okay, there's things that go into a movie at a certain place. They're not rules, they're just things that are there that the audience has come to expect that make a full and complete story, whether it be a movie or a TV show or a novel or a commercial, anything where story's involved. Which then led me to Character Arcs by Cam Weiland, and then Story Engineering by a guy whose name I can't remember. Kind of helps synthesize it all, or bring synthesis to all of it. Anyway, as Aaron said, Beverly Hills Cop is damn near perfect in storytelling. Structurally, it's all there. It's very entertaining. It's very engaging. All the bits and pieces are there. But from a character perspective, it's also damn near perfect. In that, for Eddie Murphy, our main character, Axel Foley, it's actually a flat arc. He has all the tools he needs. Oh, am I losing? Well, it wouldn't be a stream if this camera didn't duck out on us. Alright, after a little reset, because why the fuck not? Alright, let's get back to this again. So Axel Foley's character is a complete person. He has everything, all the tools he needs. So when you say flat arc, that's not very compelling. He doesn't learn anything or whatnot. But just because he's complete doesn't mean the people around him are not. And he impacts the cops in Beverly Hills that he, I don't want to say works with, because that's not exactly it, but they all learn something and become better from, yeah, exactly, he teaches. And that's the interesting thing. So not every story has to be about your main character's growth. They have their plot goal they're pursuing, and how they impact others is just as interesting. Otaka Builder, oh my goodness! Hey, you missed all the fun when OBS dropped out on me. Good to see you here, my man. How are you feeling? There we go. Otaka Builder is, I would say, one of the better builders that I've seen over on the YouTube and Instagram. He just did a refit fairly recently, which I would recommend. Actually, you know what? Let me do something here. Well, it looks like I mean, if you tuned in just then, you missed everything ducking out on me. No, good, you're doing better. I mean, life can drag you down. Plus, I don't know, you're in California, right? So you're probably not dealing with the gray and the cold like we are. Okay, give me a second to bring this up. I'm going to do one thing. Shift 3. And we're going to insert, if I can. Give me a second, I forgot how to do this. Oh, that's right, it's over here. Add an image. And desktop. Nope. Sorry, give me a second here. I don't want that. Yes. Image. There we go. Browse. Desktop. I wouldn't say good friends, but my close personal acquaintance, Otaka Builder. Take a look here. Last month he did the YOLO Park Optimus Prime from Bumblebee, which turned out amazingly. And definitely check out his refit. And that's fine. I mean, well, check out all this stuff. I mean, I'm primarily a Trek and sci-fi builder, so I'm kind of all about this. But very good stuff to check out. So go give it a look-see. So yeah, man, thanks for ducking in. I'm just doing fiber optics. It's probably going to be a short stream because drilling holes and cutting fiber optics isn't the most engaging. And I kind of worked myself into a corner. I used 3/4 millimeter on the neck to the nacelle, half in the saucer, now down to 1/4 millimeter because there's so many windows. Do you do a lot of fiber optic work? Or you're primarily just on the LED? I can't recall. Unless I apologize, I kind of primarily watched your Trek stuff versus the Gundams. But yeah, for anyone who's interested in that, Otaka's my man for Gundams. Go give it a look. Hey, no problem with the shout out. Thanks for dropping by. The not every stream is super engaging depending on the work, but you cut videos, so you know what that's all about. So just to bring you up to speed. Oh, cool. Well, you've been watching my refit over on Instagram, so I'm big into the fiber optics for the running lights. Anyway, so I've kind of opened all this up, and fiber optics, I'm going to put in the tubes, the collars, and I'm going to use that ambient light to light this deflector dish, but I'm going to have a small SMD to light the center for the dish itself. But that'll be Tuesday, probably. And yeah. And when you jumped in, we were talking about movies and how structurally Beverly Hills Cop is, if not perfect, near perfect. And the story is strong enough, as my wife said, it would work without Eddie Murphy. Because it's well written, it's well thought out, well produced. But his character arc is, whoops, hope that doesn't hurt me. Is interesting because he has a flat arc, a neutral arc, whatever you want to call it, where he has all the tools and he doesn't have to learn anything to become a better hero or whatnot. But he influences those around him, and they become better. Judge Reinhold, Ronnie Cox, the other cop whose name I don't know, I can't remember. Yeah, so it's definitely a good watch, and I like to break down movies and whatnot, and I keep meaning to do that on my other TikTok channel, but kind of come up with a format that's interesting. I don't want to do just talking head, but I also don't want to do just like a slideshow either. But I'll get to it. I just had a Matthew, our guy from the Nevers podcast, has reached out about doing the second season of Dollhouse. They did the first some time ago, but because the Nevers may be back at some point, he's like, well, let's do something. And I know he wants to do a roundtable discussion about Joss Whedon, but because he's a fan, he may not be the best person to organize it. And also, organizing something like that, you want to make sure that you have a oh my goodness, a panel that has actually is up to speed on what the allegations are and the facts, not hearsay. Or what I mean, as many facts as are available. I mean, is it ever all going to come out? Probably not. But Joss Whedon for sure is he's done. He's canceled. Which is fine. Don't pretend to be something you're not. To curry favor. Don't mistreat the women on your staff, both in front and behind the camera. And all the men who work with Joss Whedon, shut the fuck up. Yeah, representation of the victims' perspectives. But yes, as far as the men who, spoke about, oh, it's not the Joss Whedon I know, I'm like, yeah, you're right, it's not. Because you have totally different experiences. And you need to check your privilege and shut your mouth. Okay, so we got some. Let's see how we're looking. So, like I said, I had a 1/4mm threads, but I only have 0.3mm holes, so I think these are going to be loosey-goosey. Ooh, or not, maybe. I had to re-drill that. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's plenty loose. So yeah, so it sounds like fairly shortly we'll be back on the Nevers podcast talking about something other than Nevers. Maybe we'll do an episode where we talk about the things we've heard, the very little news that's come out. I mean, no one's talking about it. There's like no spoilers. The actors aren't saying anything. Oh my god, my poor eyes. Anyway, if you're still, I can't tell who's still there, but Otaku, if you're still there, what are you working on right now? Or, pardon me, what are you prepping to work on when you're back in building mode? Come on. And that'll do it. Alright, let's try that. I'm in the middle of pre-production right now on the Neon Genesis Evangelion Unit 1 model kit. Hoping I have a video up before the end of next week, but personally I'm looking forward to starting my next starship build in January. Oh! Is that a secret? The starship build? As you said, Neon Genesis Evangelion. I don't know anything about it. I believe that it is a anime, is it? And as for your January build, is that a secret? Do we all have to wait with bated breath? Which is fine, because it's all something to look forward to on your channel. Which, by the way, James... is it James? I apologize if I just outed you. Outed your name. I thought I saw it on Instagram. Pardon me, Otaku. His video production is very, very good. Makes mine look like hot garbage. Okay, so it is anime, 23, 24 episodes, and a feature-length film. What did I say? Someone over on HobbyLink International a couple of years ago built a figure. And I remember the name, so I was helping Kenny with some of the YouTube metadata and whatnot at the time. But we're talking a couple years ago, so it's probably a resin figure. I imagine what you're working on is probably much more advanced. Oh, I was talking to my friend Jerry. Okay, good. Like I said, sorry, I'm like talking about where you live and what your first name is, and Otaku Builder lives at. When you were doing your refit, I'd mentioned it to Jerry at HDA Model Works. I'm like, hey, check this out. The guy I follow is doing a refit, and I believe, if I remember, we talked about it, or you'd mentioned it. You ordered some of or a number of your parts, aftermarket parts, from him. Jerry's a good guy. He also has lots of LEDs, so I know you get them from Evans right now, but it is a secondary source to keep in mind if you're ever in need. And Jerry's a wonderful man, so I'm always going to promote his work and his products. I actually became acquainted with him way back in 2013 when Boyd / Trekworks, oh please don't all fall out, started a little form. Oops, do I have any more? No. Only this one. Called Sci-Fi Model Action. And Jerry hadn't started his business then. I need a piece of cardboard or something. You know what? Here we go. So yeah, this is way back before Jerry had, he hadn't even started selling model components then, but he got into it, you know, fairly shortly afterwards, but he was more of a builder at the time. So yeah, we've been kind of friends for a number of years, keeping semi-regular contact with him. We all used to kind of chat when Boyd was not internet famous. So yeah, we get on TeamSpeak a few times a week, couple times a week, yeah. Just all chat about models. A number of people, a lot of them are over at HobbyLink International, Sci-Fi Fantasy now. Anyway, that little aside. So yeah, I've known Jerry for a long time, so it's kind of my go-to for things. Matt's Model Shop is another one. Oh, come on, there we go. That yeah, we've managed to stay in touch. A couple other people. Mark Fraley had a Facebook community for a while, but kind of got out of it. Anyway, blah blah. So a lot of us used to chat regularly, and still in touch with a few of them. Obviously Boyd, excuse me, Trekworks not so much, because he's, as I said, he's internet famous now. He's on to other things. Plus, I mean, you get bombarded with messages all the time. It's hard to keep up. But we kind of all got together and had a little hookup. A few months ago. And whoop, get in there. go. So that was good. So yeah, talked to Boyd again, and kind of some of all the old folks from Sci-Fi Model Action, and yeah, it was a good time. A lot of good people, good memories, and that's what I kind of loved with this hobby slash business. I mean, because I do build and sell commissioned pieces, it is a business for me. But meeting people like Utaka Builder, we've I think I messaged him maybe a year ago. We kind of bounced a few messages back and forth. Red Shirt Workshop, also on Instagram. He's another builder. We've become acquainted, and yeah, just other people. It's good to connect, and it's 5-minute epoxy, so it takes a little bit longer than using the UV stuff. Yeah, no, it's been good to get acquainted with people from all over. I'd say all over the world, but mostly in the U.S. But through Instagram, I get a lot of messages from people in other countries, and I've been able to use Google Translate to kind of actually communicate. So that's also cool. I use way too much resin, but that's okay. The stuff's only like $1.25 at the dollar store. It's still good to use. I mean, it's fine to use, absolutely. It's just, like I said, it's going to take a little bit. I've been getting spoiled with the UV, and light stuff because it goes so quickly. But as I said, because the heat generated, I can't risk these 1/4 millimeter fiber optics. Let's take a peace tea break. Remember, I'm available for sponsorships. And my ketchup chips, for anyone who's been following along. So, the Kelvin here that I've been plugging away at is mostly fiber optics. The lighting's pretty straightforward. The build is super straightforward. I want to get this wrapped up in the next couple weeks so I can enter it into the HobbyLink International Model of the Year contest. I mean, winning doesn't matter. It's just a matter of having that as an input, as kind of a kick in the butt to make something that's been sitting in the stash that wouldn't have been a priority. And it's been interesting, to say the least. The green strawberry stuff really sets it off. I got the Enterprise refit. That's for David down in Florida. I'm just kind of picking away at that to make sure that it stays interesting and doesn't get frustrating when things don't go right. I'm building a second pilot, original series Enterprise, more for my own collection slash as a display model if I go to shows. And after that, I'm not sure. I got a number of things here. I may tackle the the Discovery Enterprise. I kind of got a little start on that, and that looks like a fun build. Which, as I said, go to Utaka Builder's channel because he also did a Discovery Enterprise, the 1/1000 scale. Definitely worth a look. Right, this is probably going to take a little bit longer to cure because the mix may not be perfectly 50-50. Not that I think this UV light's going to do anything with the thermolytic, but whatever, as long as they kind of stay in there while I'm putting in the next series of them, which we'll do here. Yeah. And yeah, this is basically the Franklin with my approach. And as I said, it's from heavily inspired by Ben Builds, because he did fiber optics and I was able to really see what worked and didn't work for him. So I was able to come up with a, well, not really come up with anything, just to be prepared for what this model throws at you, because it's so small. I mean, this 1000 scale is, there we go. I mean, it's one of those things. It's big, but it's small. Oh, come on, thing. There we go. And is this starting to harden? Whoop. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Come on back. Yeah, that's too hard. It's a little bit too hard, so set you aside. Take this up. Oh, there we go. And we'll try this again. See if we can get those bubbles out of the way first. And actually, you know what? Let's cut some more fibers, because I've got 1 and 2 and 3 left. Ooh, look at that. Lucky guy. Oh, come here. Here. It's even less interesting because these 1/4 millimeters are so small. Yeah, can you even see them on here? But yeah, this is going to be a lot of fibers to jam in here, but I might be able to get away with 1 LED. I've got some tube, so I got some 3mm tube that allows just the head of the 3mm LED to fit in. But I got one that's slightly larger that allows the whole, because the base is just a little bit bigger. So I might be able to do all of these with 1 LED. Which, as I said, will give me a nice soft glow for the deflector dish. So I can really, instead of overloading the space, I can use it to great effect. Although I gotta paint, you know what, no, I don't need to paint the inside that white. I was gonna paint the inside white, but I don't need a lot of light reflection in there. Oops. Anyway, this isn't the most lively one tonight, but that's fine. It's a Friday night, right? The Tuesdays tend to be a little bit better. I had one night where several people jumped in, and there was one gentleman, Fenny Golf, here on Twitch. He builds endgames, ducked in, and another user, I am the end, ducks in every now and again. And that's kind of what I like about these lives, is an opportunity to engage with fans slash other builders in real time. Because this can be a pretty solitary job slash hobby. Okay. So we got another batch. And let's thread them. This might be a little bit faster. Oh good, I just dumped out some from the other end. Seems about right. But yeah, I don't, when I start this, I don't come in with any pre-planned conversation topics. I kind of go where the build goes, which is also the purpose of this. So I can, as I said before, build free form. I don't have to think about and pre-plan. I just take the model and do what I do and record and talk about it and then upload to YouTube, which isn't really about getting views or new views. It is basically there for fans and any other interested parties. And yeah, if people pick up some skills from it, even better. That was a weird one. I talked to someone who's like, "Oh, you can't be giving all your skills away. I mean, no one's going to buy from you." I'm like, if someone's building on their own and looking to figure out how to do something, they weren't buying from me anyway. And ultimately, it's not about that. Some people need to try it and realize that, you know, they can't get the results they want, or they just don't enjoy it, but they still want that ship, that one-of-a-kind piece that's just theirs. So yeah, don't be afraid to show your process, because, like I said, if someone's searching how to do fiber optics, they weren't, at least at that time, going to be someone who buys one of your builds anyway. So just chill out and do your thing. And look at, some people will never be clients. Some people just like watching. It's like, I don't paint, but we've watched Bob Ross, and I've enjoyed that. It wouldn't be as cool to be as big as Bob Ross. Okay. So we got another grouping in. No, don't fall out on me. No, 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 no. Okay. Whoops. Yeah, this is a bit of a problem with the hole being slightly too big. I may have to find specifically a oh, what am I doing? Maybe I'll use my helping hands. There we go. Now, got a little bit of freedom. There we go. Smaller batch. And mix up some 2-part epoxy again. And in you go. Okay. I kind of glued those together. Hopefully that doesn't bite me in the butt. So we want to make sure we leave some out because this is going to be getting another coat of paint before it's finished and then nipping them all off. Okay. Apologize you can't see this. I don't really want to flip this over and have these slide out on me. Alright, we'll let those cure. And wipe this down. These cuticle sticks are really quite helpful. Don't need them all the time, but sometimes. This end is really good for burnishing masking tape when you're masking something up. Okay, it's 9 o'clock. We're going to call this for tonight because it's going to be more of the same. So what I will do is I'm going to prep everything so we can just get into installation when we come back on Tuesday. Same thing with the saucer. I'm going to go ahead and paint that and save the final installation of the glass for then, and then we can kind of glue this down and clamp it all down and get the wires connected, run some out the top so we can connect to so that, oh, you know what? No, we're not going to close it because I still have to do lights for the impulse engines, but I do want to install this before closing the two halves of the hull. So that way all the wiring will be connected, and then we just connect the two halves and put it together. Then, final paint, pin wash to bring out the panels, decals, Aztec decals, some light weathering, clear coat, and done. So, thanks to everyone who joined in, Otaka. It was wonderful to see you duck in. You know, I think your work is A1, and I look forward to more. Aaron, thank you for watching as always. My super supportive partner. More supportive than me because when she streams I always forget to turn it on. So I am a bad partner. So that's gonna do it for tonight. Thanks for watching. This is this kind of boring stream. Oh, I gotta put more. I gotta put another bank of windows in there, which I'll probably do tomorrow. It's still wiped out from working yesterday. Yeah, thanks for coming. Thanks for engaging. Thanks for anyone who stopped by and who watches. This will be uploaded on YouTube, and for anything else, you can find me on Instagram almost daily, TikTok every couple days, and bye.